everyone, and welcome back to week 7 of Hope Kidz Online. Now this week we're going to be starting a multiple part story. Whoa! What does that mean? That means that today's story is going to roll into next week and probably the week after as well. So get ready, because all the craft and all the things we're talking about for the next at least 3 weeks are all going to come together into one long episode of Hope Kidz Online. Are you ready? Okay. A long time ago, in a place called Egypt, there was a king. Now, in Egypt, they didn't call their kings kings. They called them pharaohs. And this pharaoh was particularly nasty. And one day, he was looking out of his palace and he saw all these people called the Israelites. Now, the Israelites were living in Egypt at the time. And he looked at them all and he thought, do you know what? There are so many Israelites that if there was a war and they joined my enemies, I'm done for. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to make all the Israelites my slaves. So that's what he did. He sent out orders and he made all the Israelites slaves. And he said to the midwives, when the Israelite women give birth, if they're boys, I want you to kill them. If they're girls, it's fine. Don't worry about it. But you know what? The midwives didn't listen to Pharaoh because they feared God. They loved God and they knew that would be wrong. So they didn't listen to him. And so the Israelites grew and grew and grew. And there was a woman, and she gave birth to a little baby boy. And she wanted to keep him safe. So she hid him for a couple of weeks. But then it became really, really hard to hide him because he was a newborn baby. And he was wriggling and he was crying and all the things that babies do. So she decided she had to find a better way of hiding him from the Egyptians. So one day, she had an idea. So she ran into a workshop and she started making something. Something that looks a lot like this. For craft, you will need 1 piece of handy-dandy paper, a pair of snippety-snip scissors, some tape of the cello, and a trusty pencil. First things first. We need to make this piece of paper into a square. And we do that by taking this top corner and folding it over to this edge until you've got like a diagonal line down here. Okay? So we take this corner, and as soon as that point meets the edge of the paper, we're going to stop. We're not going to force it. We're going to make a nice little triangle, and then we're going to fold it down. Okay, now we're going to take our pencil, and along this line that you should see here, we're going to draw a little pencil mark. So there's a little line up and down the paper. We're going to fold this bit back over, and then what we're going to do is we're going to get our scissors and we're going to cut up this line that you just made, okay? And then you should have something that looks like this. So now we have our square and we've got this piece here. Now keep this piece handy. We're going to be using this later on. So pop that over there. Now we're going to fold this back over so that it's a triangle again. Then we're going to have it so that the bottom edge, the longest edge of the bottom here, is facing you. And then we're going to fold this triangle in half again. So we've got another smaller triangle. Okay, and one more time, we're going to make another smaller triangle by taking this top piece and folding it down to this piece here. You should have a nice smaller triangle. So now you're going to want to move your triangle so that the open bit is on this side and the bit where it all folds is facing down this way. Okay, so towards your left hand. Okay, now mine's a bit springy. Yours might not be, that's fine. Now what we're going to do is going to grab a pencil again. Okay, and we're going to draw a little squiggly line. So I'm going to draw the line on you and then I'll show you on the camera. So what we've done, so this is the edge with the fold. This is your latest fold. So these two bits here and here unfold. This is your fold. It's really, really important. Now, just at a guess, okay? So you're going to measure about halfway, it's like here somewhere, and then you're going to go up half again. Alright? And then this top bit here, you're going to start about here and just draw like a half circle or a little bit of a curve, and then do some squiggly lines, and as long as you end up going down on this bit, you're fine. Okay, so up here, round and down, and something like that. Just, it doesn't have to be perfect, it doesn't have to be that kind. You can have lots of little squiggles if you want to, or you can just go up and do a straight line and go down. It's up to you. This is just the shape I decided. So once you've done that, you're going to cut that out. So you're going to cut around this line. So I'm going to do that and we'll be back in 2 seconds. I've cut that out. Now it is important to remember you need to cut a little bit down here. Okay, don't cut all the way because you need the fold, but you need to cut a little bit down this way. Alright, so wherever you started your line, you need to cut that bit out as well and go up that way. Now what we're going to do is we're going to unfold the whole thing. Okay. I'm going to unfold it. So you should end up with something, let's turn it over so it doesn't flip, there you go, that looks a bit like this, okay? Or whatever kind of shape you did up here, it'll look a bit like that. Now is when you want to colour this in, alright? Don't wait till later. If you want to colour it in, do it now. Now that you have coloured in your craft, you're going to want to colour in both sides, okay? One is going to be the inside, one is going to be the outside. So just for you to know why I have done what I've done. So this is going to be the outside, this is going to be the inside, and the reason I've got a big green blobby bit for you with all the spikes and stuff out is because this is going to be the soft bit inside for the next thing that we're going to do. So the next thing you want to do is you want to get this long piece of paper that you had last time back. So what we're going to do is we're going to draw a circle. If you want to use something to go around, or if you want a freehand, it's up to you. So we're going to draw a circle, like so. The next thing we're going to do is draw like a sausage around the circle, okay? Around, kind of like that shape. Okay, so you want to make that kind of shape. Then what we're going to do, just for some effect, is we're going to put our pencil at this point, okay, just below the circle, about here, and we're going to draw a nice little swoopy line down. Okay, so kind of like this. And then we're going to go about a third of the way over, do the same thing down the other way. And then the same this side. And then the same the other side. So you end up with what looks like some bandages. Okay, so now we're going to draw a little face in this top circle here. It's a little baby's face. That'll do. Alright. So you end up with a little baby that looks, you know, something like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to cut out the baby around the outside. Okay, now we're going to put it all together. So you're going to need some tape for this. You need 4 bits of tape, okay? Now this bit could get a little bit tricky, so you might need someone to help you. Decide which is your inside and which is your outside, okay? So the outside needs to be facing down, and you need to be looking at the inside of our thing. Now what we're going to do, we're going to get the bits where the slits are biggest. We're going to tape those bits together. So we're going to fold it up and fold it over like that. Okay, so you're going to grab them, put one side bit inside, one over the top, and fold them over. And then we're going to tape on the outside. Is it? Yeah, that's the outside. we're going to tape the outside along this edge. Okay, now make sure you've got this as tight as possible. You don't want any holes down here. And you need to make sure you tape along the edge. Okay, because you want this to be waterproof. Spoilers. Okay, some tape down like that. Job done. And then we're going to do the same thing for this bit, and for this bit. Now when you're finished, you should end up with something that looks a bit like this. Now don't worry if it's not a perfect square. We don't want it to be. Okay? What we want to do is you want to squish it together a bit so that it ends up like that. Okay? Don't fold it or anything. Just squish it together a bit and just let it naturally fall back into this kind of a shape. So there she was with her little waterproof basket canoe thing. And so what she did was she took her baby and she put him in the basket. And then she said to her daughter, go and take him down the river and put him in the water so he floats. And then keep an eye on him, keep watch. And we'll go and we'll look after him, but we'll look after him from there until he's old enough that people won't notice anymore. So that's what she did. She took him down to the river and she popped him in the water. Now one day, the princess of Egypt, the Pharaoh's daughter, went down to the same river that the baby was in to have a wash, because that's what they used to do. And while she was down there washing and singing her bath time songs, she noticed the basket in the reeds.
Baby shark do 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 do, baby shark do 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 do, baby shark do 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 do, baby shark. Ooh, what's that?
So she sent her servant to go and pick up the basket and bring it to her. And when they brought it to her, she looked inside. And what did she find? That's right. She found the baby. Oh, and she was amazed.
Wow.
And she thought, this must be one of the Israelites' babies. But you know what? She felt really sorry for him because he was crying. Now, behind the bushes was the baby's sister. So she jumped up and she said, excuse me, miss. What you need is someone to look after the baby for you. I know a woman who would happily look after him for you until he's old enough to come and live in the palace with you. And the princess, well, she thought this was a brilliant idea. So that's what she did. She gave the baby to his sister and she went home and told her mother all about it. And so the baby got to live with his mother until he was old enough to go to the palace. And you know what name the princess gave to that baby? Because the princess named him. And she named him Moses. Because he was taken out of the river. And now for the next couple of weeks, we're going to be talking about Moses. Because Moses did some really amazing things with God's help. But you know, we can learn a lot from this story, can't we? We can learn about what's called provision. We can learn about what God does to look after us. You see, the Pharaoh wanted to kill all the baby boys, but God protected them because the midwives loved God and they knew it was wrong to do what Pharaoh was asking. So even when the king was asking these people to do something wrong, they decided, you know what? God's law is more important. So I'm going to listen to that instead. And we can learn about how God looks after us. So while Moses was in that little basket on the lake, in the river, God was looking after him. And we're going to see over the next couple of weeks how God really looked after Moses in good times and in some bad times as well. Well guys, that's it again for another week of Hope Kidz Online. Hey, we have a lot of fun making these videos, and we really hope that you are enjoying them. We really hope that you are learning how much God loves you and how much he wants to be your friend. Not just during bad times, but in good times as well. So guys, don't forget, send me pictures of your craft so we can show them off next week. Send me any questions that you've got about Hope Kidz Online, about Bible stories, about anything you could think of, you ask away. And don't forget to send me in your favourite Bible stories so that we can do them on Hope Kidz Online in the future. Okay? Awesome. Well guys, have a great week, stay safe, and we will see you next week for week 8 of Hope Kidz Online. First things first, we need to make this piece of crazy, crazy crayons, coloring in green. Crazy, crazy crayons, craziest crayons you've ever seen. She noticed the basket hidden in the reeds there. Can't say that bit. Because babies do that. Babies cry a lot.